The original Black Panther film was a cultural moment, a stamp in time. That movie had the black community in a chokehold back in 2018, and rightfully so. It's rare we get mainstream representation like that, so best believe my people are gonna show up and they gonna show out. I remember seeing videos of black folks doing the most. I mean, you had people doing poetry jams, burning incense, jollof cook-offs, and dance battles going on in the theater lobbies. Black Panther was so impactful that mediocre rapper and Dr. Phil alumni Bad Baby wanted to be black after seeing it.
Who wants to be black?
My bad, Mrs. Baby. I don't know what could have possessed me to say such a thing. Do what you want. I mean, look at these people. They're doing whatever they want. All right, enough with the secondhand embarrassment. Let's talk about Wakanda Forever. This is the one Marvel film I believe a lot of people were sitting back waiting to see how Marvel and Ryan Coogler would handle it. There was potential for a real PR disaster to happen if they didn't handle this film with delicacy. People loved Chadwick Boseman. He was a natural fit for the role of the Black Panther, and sadly, he was taken from us too soon due to his battle with cancer.
Hey, fuck cancer?
I remember exactly where I was when his passing played out. It was hard to forget, seeing as the boys and I were in the middle of recording episode 104 of the Gaming Illuminati podcast. We were talking about whatever was the hot topic in gaming at that time, and then the news broke on Twitter that Chadwick Boseman had passed away, and it shifted the whole mood of the show.
What the fuck?
Bro, are you seeing the same news?
What the
What just happened? What just happened? What just happened?
I know this isn't real.
Holy shit, I see it.
I know this isn't real, bro.
Oh no.
This better be a joke. This better be a fucking...
It's Associated Press. Checkmark Associated Press.
Okay, I can't even load the website. Hold on.
No. This
colon cancer?
No. Nobody, what?
After mourning his passing, the conversation eventually shifted to what's next for the franchise. Will the mantle be recasted? Are future Black Panther movies canceled? Well, in 2022, we got our answer with Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is a film about a destabilized country, but it also pays homage to Chadwick's contributions to the MCU as well. The opening scene in this film was powerful. Normally, Marvel movies give you some silly stuff at the top of the film to ease you in, but the opening scene pulls at your heartstrings, and what really brought this scene home is after that scene ends, it's just dead silence, really hammering home that point that stuff just got real. It was chilling. I mean, this scene set the tone for the rest of the movie, and everyone in the theater when I saw it was dead quiet, as you could tell we were in for a different type of Marvel movie. This wasn't a film full of corny one-liners and quips like Love and Thunder. Instead, what we got is a film that opts to tell an emotional story about a country dealing with destabilization from the loss of their king. There are jokes in this film, but they mostly come from the actor that plays Riri Williams, Ironheart, and they didn't feel forced. They were all within the context of the situation. For that reason alone, I enjoyed this movie. It was an experience instead of a bad stand-up routine at open mic night at your local cafe.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Angela Bassett gives a powerful performance as the Queen. She did a great job of evoking emotion during her speeches, and she's also still fine at the age of 64.
But let me refocus. Black women are beautiful.
Minor spoilers ahead, but if you've seen the trailers of the movie posters, then you should already know that the actress who plays Shuri becomes Black Panther, and she does a fantastic job of taking up the mantle. Her suit looked cool with the use of all the gold and the longer claws. It was a much more aggressive look and a welcome change. She also fought more like a cat in this film, and I appreciate that attention to detail. Shuri did what Halle Berry couldn't. But my favorite thing about Shuri is the way she was portrayed in this film. I was worried Marvel was going to pull a Smash Bros by making Shuri an Echo version of T'Challa. Ryan Coogler did take some liberties with the source material, but I enjoyed the fact that they mostly got it right. Most people know that Shuri held the mantle of Black Panther in the comic books because of Google, but most people don't know that she wasn't the best Black Panther, at least in the beginning. She was driven by rage, jealousy, and ego, to the point when she initially took the heart-shaped herb, the Panther God refused to grant her the strength and agility of the Black Panther. It was nice to see someone driven by different motives, otherwise this film would have felt a little bit more samey. This time around, the main villain is Namor. Now, I know Namor came first, but if you're unfamiliar with him, then think of Aquaman if he drank a Red Bull, and then that Red Bull gave his ankles wings.
Oh my god, corny, lame, boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes.
I thought he was a great villain, and reason being is they humanized him. The key ingredient to a solid villain is giving them a strong motive so that you don't necessarily agree agree with their actions, but you understand them. Every great villain thinks they're the hero of the story. The actor who plays Namor does a fantastic job of selling himself as the king of the ocean. His anger and his ambition was amazing to watch. In a world dominated by Boy Scouts, it's nice to see Marvel incorporate another morally great character into the MCU. He's not really a bad guy in the comics, but he's not good either. He's like the Punisher, he kind of just does what he wants. Marvel did change up the backstory of Namor in this, but I liked it. It felt more culturally rich, and overall, I was satisfied with his performance, and I hope to see more Namor in the MCU. Black Panther is 2 for 2 on its villains.
Hey, Auntie.
Now, I've seen mixed reviews on her performance, but for me, the actor who played Riri was a highlight. She was the comic relief of the movie, but the comedy felt natural. It was a Black American completely added an element dealing with these warring nations. I liked it because it felt natural. It's how a lot of us would respond to Wakandans and Atlanteans. It was also nice to see her incorporated, seeing as she's getting her own TV show on Disney Plus in 2023. Bringing her into Wakanda Forever was a nice way to backdoor this character into the MCU without it feeling rushed to add a place. This is a more narrative-driven film, so don't expect as much action as previous MCU entries, but know the action that happens is on point for the most part, mainly because they spend so much time setting up situations that felt like a natural escalation of the storyline. Once again, I hate to do this, but I gotta compare it to Love and Thunder. Take that Zeus scene as an example. They pulled up for help. Next thing you know, Thor is naked and he's fighting the King of Gods. It felt forced, almost as if Family Guy's writers took over Thor.
What the? No way!
I enjoyed Wakanda Forever, but not all is sunshine and farts. I do have some critiques, the first of which is a shame to see actually, mainly because it's a repeat of the issue from the original film, and I'm talking about the CG. I don't know if the budget isn't as strong for Black Panther movies compared to other MCU films, but the CG in Wakanda Forever is very sketchy. It really rears its head in a couple key scenes. The final fight did not look good. It looks similar to the cutscenes that play in PS1 games like Final Fantasy and Tekken. There's also a scene where Shuri's in the ocean and it looked horrible, and not just the city, but the suit she was wearing. I'm willing to give a little bit of leeway on animating the city of Atlantis, as Aquaman had the same issue in his movie. Doing an underwater scene is difficult, seeing as everything is done on blue screens, but that doesn't change the fact that it didn't look good. It did ruin the immersion a bit, but overall, I enjoyed the film, and you should see it if you haven't already. And if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and like this video, then pause the video, because I have more gripes with this movie and some other thoughts, but I can't talk about that without diving deep into the territory of
spoilers.
First gripe, Wakanda is a monarchy, but anyone who believes they are strong enough can challenge for the throne. Why did the queen leave the nation destabilized? Why not host a tournament of power for all the strongest men and women in the nation to earn the right to be the next Black Panther? The queen's death solely served the purpose of pushing Shuri to become the next Black Panther. The problem with the queen's death is it's not believable. Namor floods Wakanda, fire by the way, that actually happened in the comics. Once the flood happens, Riri and the queen are trapped in the room underwater. Riri can't swim, so the queen swims her up, but she doesn't have enough oxygen to make it herself. The thing is, I have a hard time believing she'd actually do that. After all, her husband murdered his own brother for trying to help Black Americans and then left his son to find.
I found my with Panther claws in his chest.
Now, why does this matter? A, Wakandans are hardcore isolationists. They ain't helping nobody. They don't even help other African countries, let alone a Black American. B, it matters because in a relationship, often the two parties are a reflection of one another, with an emphasis on the woman being a reflection of their man. Does it mean you agree on everything? No, but you damn for sure agree on a lot, otherwise you wouldn't have jumped the broom. We can use this "Hey Auntie" scene as evidence. When Killmonger came to Wakanda to challenge for the throne, the queen didn't care he was her nephew. She tried to convince T'Challa not to accept the challenge. Now she's saving random college students who helped build a device that compromised your whole nation's security? Granted, Riri was fooled by the US government. It doesn't change the fact it happened. The point I'm trying to make is Shuri's path to Black Panther was all just a little too convenient. I think the writing could have been stronger there. But my biggest gripe with Wakanda Forever is, how come no Avengers attended T'Challa's funeral? Not even the Winter Soldier, aka the White Wolf, showed up, and he's forever in debt to the nation of Wakanda for cleansing him of his brainwashing and giving him back a somewhat of a normal life. It's not like he's busy. His show with Falcon ended back in 2021. You mean to tell me the most powerful Black man on Earth who helped save the universe passes away of an illness suddenly, and none of his coworkers showed up to pay respects? Come on, I mean, I know Wakanda's an isolationist nation, but they would have let the Avengers in. They already have. I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of racist. I'm just saying. That last line was a joke, by the way. I know some of you weirdos are foaming at the mouth watching this, probably hammering away at your keyboard talking about, oh, all you people do is always bring race into things. Calm down. I just needed a spicy video title to entice you into clicking it, and guess what?
The United States and our allies have prevailed.